Okay, so situational awareness, we've had some, quite a bit of information thrown at you already on this. In summation, I would say it's absolutely critical to you as an engine boss that you maintain it, update it, and convey it at all times. Okay? Is there any questions about it? Any comments, observations, experiences? Because this is fundamental to the safety of us working in the interface intermix. Michelle?
Just back with that 30-30, knowing your topography of where you live and everything, that came into effect for our event of knowing that in the evenings the wind comes back down,
yep,
while during the day it's going up. And there's the video that someone took from the west side where you can see the plume of smoke change at 5 o'clock from going one direction and blue straight the other way.
Yep.
So it's really neat to see that and put that into perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Good point.
Yeah, knowing local terrain factors and local, just regular weather. We know at 5 o'clock when the shade hits West Kelowna that the wind is going to be coming down that hill, crossing the lake, and going up Mission on the other side. That's still in the sunshine, right? We know that every night. So if we have a wildfire event, we can expect that we're going to have a pickup or a downhill push for that fire around that time of day, and we can plan for it, and that's a trigger point to talk about prior to it getting there.
And again, as engine bosses, I really emphasize that if you're not getting this information, okay, ask for it. Ask your task force leader. Okay, during the briefing, a good task force leader will give his briefing or her briefing. What am I missing? Any questions? Okay, that's your point. Hey, whoever, what's the weather forecast for today? What's the wind going to get to? What's RH going to be? You have to get the information, okay, and update it again. On our fires, and I know you guys put out weather forecast updates midday, I believe. That's something, again, it's constantly monitoring it and knowing it and adjusting as required. Okay, any other questions on situational awareness? Good? Okay, we're gonna change gears here, no pun intended, and look at driver safety in the interface. So, just for the structural people in the room, what do you think are some of the hazards that you're going to face in the interface? You've gone through staging, tasked out as part of the task force on deployment. You're in a neighborhood, fire's burning vigorously.
Have they been evacuated?
Okay, one at a time. I heard smoke. Okay. Why is that an issue? Okay. Fair enough. Michelle?
Have they been evacuated? Is there people coming out as you're coming in?
Yes. Yeah. How is that a problem, do you think? Like, think about some of the roads in your response areas, or even in rural areas. Like, are they two-laners with nice lines down the middle? No, exactly. And let's throw some animals in there. How many of you have been on fires where there's a herd of cattle or horses or whatever coming ripping down the road, or sheep that are blocking the road, right? See those things and throw a little smoke in there, you got a problem, okay? Chad and I joke around that with animals. If you see animals running unherded towards you, that should be one of the 18 watch outs.
Start going with them.
Sorry, you had a question, Lou.
It's quite often you'll run into, or not run into, but you'll encounter heavy equipment on the logging roads.
Yep.
The tractor trailer units with low boys with cats on them or feller bunchers or whatever, right?
Yeah, exactly.
They may be parked on the road or traveling, so.
Yeah, I mean, really, there's a whole host of hazards that we face in terms of operating, vehicles in the interface. Three-dimensional, and we'll get more into this in a second. I have a video here that, if you actually listen to it, like it's funny, but it's not. Okay, like this is a web or a dash cam of I can't remember. There was a Tennessee fire in 2016 of some folks that had been evacuated. Their evacuation route had been compromised. If you listen at the very beginning here, there's power lines down and trees down, so they had to go back through the fire. If you actually watch this video, it's about 9 minutes. It's worth watching. It is kind of funny at times, but it actually captures the whole host of hazards that you can face in the interface while operating an apparatus. So we're just going to tune into that.
This is the Chalet Fire, Brent.
We just got stuck. We're turning around. There's power lines and trees blocking the road. We cannot get out. people attempting to evacuate. Did you turn that Coleman off the house? Alright. Never on. That's good. And now we're heading back towards where we live, which the inevitable we didn't think was going to happen. It's starting to happen. That's a cabin. There's down my road. Oh shit. God. We'll get out of it. Hit the gas.
I can't see.
You can see. Everything is burning around us. Every cabin, everything. There you go. We're not gonna make it across that road. Shit. Oh fuck. Oh shit. You're good. Wow. It's okay, Red. Fuck! Hit the gas! Hit the gas! It's too hot in here. Don't worry about the lines. Oh, shit. Why is every cabin on fire? Fuck. I don't know about this. Just fucking go. Oh my god. Well, at least they're tree. Dude, this started at Natty Branch. We're going the wrong way. What? If we can make it to the Welcome Center. It's okay, Red. They're not even trying to put this shit out. No warning, nothing. Not one single warning on the news. And you're telling me nobody knew almost every cabin in Chalet Village is burning to the freaking ground.
Okay, so what'd you guys see in that video? I mean, it's pretty instructive, isn't it? Like power lines down, there- overhead widowmakers above, ambers everywhere, like radiant heat, convective heat. Wrong way. I think they actually go off the road at one version. I don't know if it's that one up. They actually go off the road and hit a tree, like a stump. Like, do you think as an engine boss, operating an engine company, you want to be in that position? No, again, so like we'll get into trigger points and escape routes and laces and all that sort of thing. But I mean, like, you don't want to be in that position. You can imagine, and we actually have a clip a little bit later on from the Canyon Fire in 2016 of what happens when an engine company has to like make their way to a safety zone. 700-meter drive, it turns into a complete Charlie Foxtrot. And that happens, right? And that's why we're talking about it, is to try to avoid these things and reading the signs before you find yourself in that position, because we do not want to be in that position. So just a little bit more on apparatus safety and the interface, the two Ps, positioning, parking, and then operation. So positioning. How do we position our apparatus, our engines in the interface intermix? Yeah, absolutely. Any other considerations? Yeah, that's a good one. Not blocking in other vehicles, facing the escape route. Anything else?
Near a water source, or can be close to a hydrant, or
Okay, so tactically, like position your vehicle tactically, right, get it right the first time? Absolutely, that's a good one. How about parking? Okay, yeah. On angles, why is that a problem in an engine, do you think? Okay, how about soft shoulders? especially in a tender. Okay. How about, and again, I played that video just now. Think about the overhead, the three-dimensional firefighting environment, the overhead hazards. What about lines, power lines? Or my favorite, happened to me, parked next to a cedar hedge, like a big one. Yeah. So, I mean, those things go up, right? They catch an ember and all of a sudden, it's gone. Operation, we heard it in that video too, even though it's not an apparatus, a civilian vehicle, but knowing where you're going. You want to know damn sure where you're going when your visibility's low, right? You want to operate at a safe speed, okay? You want to have your lights on, all your regular EVO type safety features, okay? Anything to add on that?
Just steering clear of, a lot of times in rural properties and whatnot, you're going to have septic fields and septic tanks and whatnot. So trying to stay on improved or identified driveways, roadways. When we start veering off with the weights that we have within our tenders, is if we cave into one of those, now we're going to need a tow to get back out of that. So just trying to make sure that where we position, we kind of have a clear understanding of what's underneath us, so we don't end up collapsing in. Okay.
So one of the other things that we do is there's a number of safe work standards that we have to adhere to, and our number one standard is danger tree protocols. So making sure they're identified and dealt with. So either in the form of put them on the ground or create a no-work zone around them. So all our staging areas, all our camp locations, the line location, and everything that's done, the danger tree assessment has to be done first. So if you've got a group of engines that are going to be parking in an interface area and you're in and around some trees, you have to have those danger tree assessed before you leave those vehicles sitting there, just so that you don't come back and all of a sudden you got a 3 foot at the butt cedar going through the middle of one of your trucks.
Good point, exactly. Yep. Do we mention bridges?
No.
How about bridges? Yeah, especially in some of the more, the rural areas, like your standard bridge, or even bridges on private property. How about that? A Type 1 engine versus a Type 6 engine, or how about a water tender, Type 1 tender? Okay, that's something. And then throw fire, like active fire, into that. What's the condition of the bridge? So something to definitely be aware of. So again, nothing totally revolutionary here. It's basic apparatus safety, but be aware of it in that three-dimensional fire environment. Do you have a question, Sarah?
Whichever. But what's your take on having structure firefighters, I guess, tagging on a hydrant to protect structure? Do
Yeah,
you want
you know
it
what?
to be tagged on, or not?
Can I ask that we'll defer that to the tactics part?
Pardon?
We'll defer that to the tactics section. Is that
Right
okay?
on.
Yeah, we're going to talk about hooking into a hydrant. Yeah, when that's appropriate. Yeah, absolutely. We'll cover that this afternoon. Thanks. Okay, any other questions about apparatus safety in the interface? I got another video for you. I hope you liked that last one. Pete, did you find that last one useful? Like, is that a good training video? Yeah. Okay, this next one is from 2016 in the Canyon Fire. So what is going on there? It's at an Air Force base, I think in California. There's a wildfire. There had been a wildfire there in 1977 called the Honda Fire. 4 firefighters have been killed on that fire. Is that something you should be aware of right off the bat? Guys have actually died fighting fires in this area. So there must be something up with the fuel type, weather behavior. There's something going on there. Okay, so they're doing a burn off. Their comms seem pretty good. I'm going to start the video at 5 minutes. It goes for 10 minutes. So they're doing a burn off. They have a wind shift, and they're instructed by their task force leader to go to their safety zone. Okay, it's a 700-yard drive to their safety zone. And it takes 10 minutes. And in those 10 minutes, things kind of start to happen. Again, this is not about being critical. It's about watching what can happen that fast when you're operating apparatus in the interface.
Just while you're setting that up, in that last video that we watched, what rank of fire do you think were they driving through? 3, 4, right? Do you think that fire just sprung up without any warning? No. So it didn't just all of a sudden materialize. I mean, every fire starts about this size and grows to that. So, but you are going to find people that want to stay on their properties and protect their properties. And then all of a sudden, when their survival mechanism kicks in and they go to leave, they're going to be coming down those roads at those speeds. We don't want to be traveling through those roads anyway. We most likely won't know them as well as the residents do. But that's another hazard that's coming down the mountain at you. And you know what? They're driving through that storm. By the time they get to you, they're going to be wound right up. So your strike team task force leader, or potentially you as the scout, as the engine boss, might take that, the brunt of their stress on as soon as they find you, like, no one told us, and we've been watching this fire burn for 3 days towards you. But just something that there is the human side as well, that is just another hazard or another thing that you may have to deal with when those residents are coming down those mountains.
And even with your crew as well,
Yeah, and your crew as
which
well.
we'll see in this video right now.